Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about sharpening Midas, non-obvious map changes, new skins, and more. If you're interested, then put your fishy like, enter the most fishy code PhillyFishy in the item store, and subscribe to the most fishy channel. Philly's at the mic and we're going to get started. Let's discuss the new bosses on the map. Among them, Zeus, Hades, Ares, and Cerberus. Each has his own mythical gun and medallion. Zeus has a mythical hunter's DMR and a medallion that allows him to run fast and jump high. Ares carries a mythical assault rifle and a medallion that increases the damage of all weapons. Cerberus carries a gatekeeper shotgun and a medallion that allows him to endlessly make dashes. And Hades carries a Harbinger SMG. Well, as I said in the last video about Midas, his return did happen, but for some reason, no one noticed it. To find out where he is and why he's there, we have to go way back to the time of Season 4, Chapter 4. It seems that the owner of the time machine, and also the main antagonist of the season, Cato Thorn, traveled not only for Oro, but also for Midas himself. Most likely, he was interested in the ability to turn everything into gold with a single touch. So he moved on to the third season of Chapter 2. At that time, Midas was eaten by a shark and had one arm left. Not a bad trophy for a collector. In a parallel time, Midas found himself in the kingdom of the dead. Perhaps this genius started thinking about escaping from here. He's the creator of the device for a reason. And it seems that Hades began to notice some strange actions on his part, so he imprisoned him in a room on the lowest floor. A logical action, considering Midas isn't such a simple man. During his imprisonment, Midas managed to build himself a new arm and armor. But since we had managed to anger the gods by opening Pandora's box, Hades, Midas, and the entire kingdom of the dead had moved to our island. Among the inhabitants of the island, there are apparently some people who remember their old boss, and they immediately set out to save him under the name Shadow. Yes, Midas is going to be rescued by the Shadow who used to be in charge of the island. Most likely Jules, Marigold, and Brutus are behind them because they appeared as NPCs in the game files. The gods have plans for the island, but apparently our revenge lover is going to show them who the real boss is, and his return has already been confirmed. In the game files, we found a whole list of tasks related to Midas's return, and there were also golden vending machines and a golden drum gun. It's a pity that Midas didn't become a secret battle pass skin, as it was before. After all, the timing perfectly coincides with the reveal of the secret skin in the old seasons. Okay, well, Midas is more or less solved. But what happened to the map? Okay, let's start with what made me cry. The tunnels to the Ninja Turtles bunkers were completely blocked, so hopefully our three-fingered friends were able to get out of there. And the oasis of our little friends still hasn't changed. Just as the gnome lay here last season, so it still lies. However, the fact that the location hasn't been erased means that Epic already has a plan for it. And because of the appearance of the Kingdom of the Dead in the northwest of the island, the entire shore has been left without water, and many boats have been left on dry land. Still, all this gloom hasn't stopped some couple from having a romantic dinner. Who these two might be? Also, it seems that after the breakdown of society, people from the underground have taken up residence in Grand Glacier. You can tell by the piles of trash and graffiti on the wall. Jones himself may have taken up residence here, so I'll keep an eye on the place. We've already talked about Midas today, but we also touched on Cato Thorn. It seems that after the failed time machine plan, he's finally gotten over his sadness and opened his own restaurant. I'm happy for him. Well, we are done with the locations, now we can talk about other things. Golden banana files were recently added to the game files. At the moment, it is known that eating it, the player gets cool buffs. For example, instant regeneration of all HP or a speed boost. Also, soon it will be possible to make a shield out of gold. It looks like it will have something to do with Midas vending machines. Continuing on about Midas, the game will soon have a separate mode with gold lava, and the Battle Royale will have an entire event dedicated to it. At first, it seems to be the usual mode, but with gold instead of lava and a little bit of story, but everything may not be so clear. What if this is just a distraction before Midas's real plan? The gods themselves want to establish complete control over the players. Zeus has gathered his entire gang around him to enslave the entire island. Data miners have already dug up files referring to a mini-event that has something to do with Zeus's hourglass. There's already speculation that when they expire, Zeus and the other gods will decide to zero out all the island's inhabitants. Also, speaking of weapons, Epic Games has completely removed the Striker AR from the game, but don't be discouraged because Hades' chain will appear mid-season, and data miners have already leaked its gameplay. Let's take a look. If you too are waiting for the return of the genius with golden hands, don't forget to like, subscribe, and enter the author code PhillyFishy in the item store.